Hello, Jay here with the Periodic Review, and welcome to Entertainment News. Let's talk a little bit about Stranger Things and the upcoming Season 4 on Netflix. After implying the entirety of Stranger Things Season 4 would release in the summer of 2022, the Netflix series announced the first volume of episodes would drop in May, but the teasers prove the new installment is already taking a big risk. Consisting of 9 episodes, Stranger Things Season 4 will officially be split into 2 parts, with Volume 1, Episodes 1 through 5, releasing May 27th, yay, my birthday, and Volume 2, Episodes 6 through 9, releasing July 1st, arriving nearly 3 years since the previous season. The show's creators Matt and Ross Duffer have acknowledged this extended waiting period, explaining it was a factor in splitting the seasons for an earlier than planned release. So not to mention, the COOF has pushed back a lot of these TV series and films back, years farther than they anticipated. So it's just kind of one of those things where you have to wait. And honestly, I would have probably been okay if they just said, hey, we're just going to push it back some more, and so that way we can just release all the episodes at once. Netflix has dropped teasers for the upcoming season since 2020. After confirming John Hopper's survival and fact that the story will extend beyond Hawkins, a few teasers were released in late 2021 to reveal the fates of a few other characters. Set 6 months following the Battle of Starcourt, Eleven is living with the Byers family in California, where fitting in is more difficult than ever. Meanwhile, those back home in Hawkins will be forced to deal with another supernatural threat linked to the Upside Down, which seems to have consequences across the globe. So I think this is probably not only the episodes being released in 2 parts it's not that concerning, but the fact that they're going to start talking more about fitting in is more difficult than ever. And this is where I struggle with this, because season 1 and season 2 were absolutely phenomenal. I was like, wow, this is seriously going to be a huge pop culture series. And then season 3 came out, and I was just like, what are you guys doing? You're messing it all up. They went from telling good stories and talking about all these wonderful supernatural things that are happening with the Upside Down world, and just a lot of great, very interesting, very unique things, and then adding the teenage angst of today with wokeism, and it just breaks your heart. Well, the teasers for Stranger Things Season 4 already insinuated that multiple settings will be coming into play this season. The newly released poster suggests that the release method might lead to risk in storytelling by splitting up the characters for an extended period of time. With Hopper imprisoned in Russia and Eleven in California, it's a given that multiple subplots will come into play. Despite Mike apparently following Eleven and Will to California, the poster suggests Eleven will get swept back into a storyline driven by the mysterious Hawkins lab and possibly Dr. Martin Brenner. With these settings added to the remaining major characters, Steve Harrington, Nancy Wheeler, Dustin Henderson, Lucas Sinclair, Max Mayfield, and on and on and on, will still be in Hawkins. There could very well be 4 key subplots in focus in Season 4's Volume 1. Unfortunately, that also means the core group will likely be separated for a good portion of the season, which doesn't bode well when looking at show past. And this is where I struggle and I get worried with this upcoming season, because I feel like what they're doing is they're trying to make it too big. And especially if they start creating multiple subplots and start separating the characters, it might not be as good, because with season 1 and season 2 really basically holding together the canon and with all these different characters working together, season 3 was definitely lackluster, and with all these different changes, especially with so much time that has, because of the COOF and all that fun stuff, and then separating all the characters and trying to manage 4 subplots, this is just a big recipe for disaster. Though Stranger Things 3 had similar issues, they were on smaller scale as characters broke off into groups like the Scoops Troop. Still, it was always proven that the best moments of the series happened when the characters came together, scheming or fighting off threats from the Upside Down. The Stranger Things Season 4 posters seem to indicate that the show is repeating its past mistakes by keeping characters away from each other for the long term, going against the proven fact that the series works better when the cast stays together. And so this is what I don't understand, because I really do feel that there was a drop in the viewing when season 3 did come out, because of this factor. And now, not only going to fall that scale of like breaking off the characters and then bringing them together at the end like they did in season 3, it seems like they're going to increase the subplots, have more characters in different places, and then try to bring them all together at the end and make it make sense. I just don't see it happening, and that really sucks because this series, season 1, season 2 were absolutely phenomenal. Season 3 was just meh. Season 4 is just not looking much greater. But again, let's go ahead. As soon as it comes out, I will definitely be watching it because I am a fan of the characters, the Upside Down world, and especially Hopper and Eleven. So we'll just have to see what happens. It is understandable why the Duffer Brothers want to expand the narrative in different directions, especially if they have plans to continue the franchise beyond the original Stranger Things series. However, with a conclusion in sight, how that it's confirmed, Stranger Things is ending with season 5. It's important to give the characters as much time together as possible if their arcs are truly going to come to a close. Like the situation with Eleven in season 2, the separation of characters will eventually lead to some type of reunion, rather than stretch out the separation Stranger Things. It's better off embracing the group as a unit so the series doesn't lose sight with a broader scope. As of now, it seems as though viewers may need extra patience to see the group come back together in Season 4, Volume 2, or possibly even Season 5. And this is where it all comes down to, I guess, in my mind, is that I feel like series are stretched out too much and they try to make it too big. And they just need to focus on the core characters and telling great stories with those characters and not separating them too much for too long and keeping them together as much as you possibly can. And this is just kind of one of those things where it's obvious it's fallen apart, especially if they're going to end with season 5 and then the possibility of spin-offs. And that's just not how I feel a good series needs to be. That's the first thing. The second thing is I think that we need to start planning these seasons, whether they're going to be like 5, 6, or 8 seasons, and kind of have an idea of what's going to happen, like just like in his story. I think Kevin Smith had this pretty good because most of his films, he already had in his minds how it's going to start, how it's going to end, and then just trying to figure out how they're going to get to that part when they start it and get towards the end of the show. They should do that as well with TV series. I feel like doing more limited series would probably be really smart. I feel like if they knew what they were going to do with Stranger Things and have this try to make it bigger than it really needs to be, feel like they could have kept things together a little bit more. Like if they were only planning for 5 seasons, I'm assuming they're ending on season 5 because the viewership is not there, and it's diminishing, and that makes sense because of season 3. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and for our family to yours, good night.